Hi, my name is Beth Heilig here for Board Game Geek and Spiel 17. I'm sitting down with Helio Delgado from Burning Games, and you brought us Ether Wars.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Ether Wars is a game about worker placement and resource management, and it does all of that with dice, as you can see.
So take us through what a turn might look like.
Yeah. So first off, you start with a new day phase, and you draw one of these cards that will apply throughout the whole round. This changes one small rule that will allow each of the species to shine on different rounds, each of the factions, that is. Then each player chooses one of their faction abilities that will be in effect for the whole round and places it in front of them. And then we move on to the reinforcements phase, when each faction gets one unit dice, the smaller dice, as well as 2 protein. And then you get to hire mercenaries, paying the resource that matches their color, as well as 1 protein. And then you go on to the placement phase, which is where most of the strategy happens. And the way that works is, starting with the first player, you get to place your dice in the different areas of the board to either extract resources or control the middle of the board, which is where the ether is, and which is how you win. So the objective of the game, in a 4-player game like this one, would be to extract 5 ether.
Okay.
So let's say Red starts and he really wants to go 10, and more players start placing their dice in the different areas. Each of the resources has a different use. For example, protein, which is what blue is going for, is to feed your army at the end of the round. Then crystal is to channel ether faster. A plasma is to save your units in combat if they are injured. Coltan is to move around, and then ether is to win. Yeah. Then, as soon as everybody has placed all their dice, let's assume this happens. For example, you get to the movement phase, and you can spend Coltan to move around the board to rethink your strategy, and then the resolution phase. And starting with the first player, they will have to roll all of their dice in order to see what happens. So what happens is, for example, in this area, there would be a resource extraction. So they roll and extract a certain amount of
And I was
resources.
going to say, let's just say they roll that,
Yeah.
a 3, a 3, and a 1.
Yeah. Then they look at the extraction cost here. So Coltan costs 2, so they get 3. They get 3, and let's go back to base, and so on and so forth. This is the point where you roll the dice. You don't have to place them in a specific direction. As you may have noticed, there are some pips that are empty.
So
They can be powered up and count, or just not count. Each of the factions powers the dice up in a different way, so the game is quite asymmetric in that regard. As soon as all dice have been resolved, everybody has extracted the resource, a result or their combats. Then whoever controlled this area, whoever won the combat here, gets to channel 1 ether, and they can channel up to 2 in certain circumstances.
And we assume we have a ether die sitting in the middle there.
So let's say Red won. What they do is they take this dice home, and they channel ether. And during the next round, what will happen is they will be able to use these dice to defend the ether. So
They're sitting in the middle already.
yeah. More things you can do is you can attack other players' silos by placing dice on these areas, and in that way you get to steal from them. And they, of course, can place dice on this area to defend themselves. So yeah, and then it's the maintenance phase. You have to pay 1 protein per dice, and that's about it. That's a quick overview.
How long do you think a game would take us?
If we were to learn as we play, it can probably take 2 hours. If we already know how to play, 1 hour to 1 hour and a half, it's a good estimation.
I was going to say, and pretty much everything that you just described is also repeated here on your player board, and then we've got a little turn summary right there.
Yeah.
I mean, so I feel as though you've given me almost everything I need just from that summary. So obviously pretty easy to learn.
It's the rules are simple. The strategy gets deep as you understand how events interact, favor cards interact. We haven't explained those. Those are like instants that you
Yeah,
can
why
use
don't you
at
give us
certain
a few,
points.
few examples?
Yeah. So each player will have 3 of these cards in their hand, and they are hidden at all times until you play them, and they are just hidden supports to your strategy that will modify some rules depending on the card. They are all different. Some of them have an associated cost in resources, so you have to look out for that.
So that's one way you could add some different flavor. You could choose a different character or a different race.
Yeah. Each of the races is specialized in a different aspect of the game. So, for example, the blue, the Vi, are specialized in using the cards and manipulating the board, whereas the red are specialized in attacking, the yellow are specialized in resource extraction and management, and the humans are very versatile. They do everything well, but not excellent. And they can hire a lot of mercenaries to help them.
And then how would a mercenary come in with your dice pool? Just
Yeah, each of them does a different thing. So, for example, the assassin kills units, the thief steals resources from other players, the drone extracts, and so on. And you place them just as you would any other dice during the placement phase.
there you go. I think that's a really good idea of what to expect if you open up a box of Ether Wars. That's from Burning Games. And Yellow, thank you so much for letting us take a look.
Oh, thank you for having me.